Welcome to Sir RP's channel. In this video, you're going to learn how to solve inverse variation. Are you ready to learn? Sit back, relax, and get ready to learn. We're now in the second type of variations, which is inverse variation. It is a type of variation between two quantities wherein as one increases, the other one decreases. And when one decreases, the other one increases. So you can see in the definition, this is the opposite of direct variation. Example, the time it takes to finish a task and the number of people working illustrates an inverse variation since the time needed increases if fewer people are working and decreases if more people are working. This is an example of inverse variation. It's about work. The number of people working and the time needed to finish the work. There is an inverse relationship. If two variables are so related such that as one variable increases, the other variable decreases proportionally, the relationship is called inverse proportion or inverse variation. And the statement y varies inversely as x or y is inversely proportional to x means that when x increases, y decreases, or k is the constant of variation. This is now the equation of variation for inverse variation. Y is equal to k over x, inverse proportion or inverse variation. For example, write the equation for the statement m varies inversely as n. We need to turn this variation statement into a mathematical sentence. Take note of the order. We have m is equal to k divided by n. M varies inversely as n. Again, k is the constant of variation. Second, write the equation for the statement h varies inversely as the square of d. Take note, we have here the word square. So that is h is equal to k over d squared, the square of d. That is how we turn variation statements into mathematical sentences. Next example. If y varies inversely as x and y is equal to 8 when x is equal to 3, what is the equation of variation? I mentioned already a while ago that the equation of variation is y is equal to k over x for inverse variation. What are you going to do with this kind of example? Transform the variation statement into a mathematical sentence, then substitute the values of x and y to solve for k and write the equation by substituting k to the original equation. So you have the given values of y and x, and then just substitute the values. We have 8 for y and then 3 for x. Next, we can simply cross multiply. We have 8 times 3, that's 24, and 1 times k is k. That is 24. Now is your value of k. Substitute 24 as the value of k to the original equation for you to get the equation of variation, which is actually y is equal to 24 over x. This is how you write the equation of variation. For examples, if c varies inversely as d and c is equal to 12 when d is equal to 5, what is the equation of variation? The same steps. Write the variation statement into a mathematical sentence and then substitute the values and then find k for you to get the equation of variation. Translate, we have c is equal to k over d. So c is inversely proportional to d. Substitute the values, 12c, 5d. To solve for k, so 12 times 5 is 60. That is now your value of k. Substitute the value of k to the original equation to find the equation of variation. Just simply substitute 60 to k. That is now your equation of variation is c is equal to 60 over d. Next example. Find the variation constant and equation of variation when y varies inversely as x and y is 12 and x is 6. The same process. So we have here the variation statement. turned into a mathematical sentence, y equals k over x, y is 12, and x is 6. 12 times 6 is 72. That is now your variation constant or the value of k. Substitute k to the original equation or 72 to the original equation, you'll have y is equal to 72 over x as the equation of variation. That is how you solve for the variation constant and the equation of variation. Next example. If y varies inversely as x and z is equal to 9 when x is equal to 14, find z when x is equal to 21. So you can see there are now 3 given, and then you're going to find z. Okay, so first you're going to focus with the first 2 given. After that, you move to the second problem, which is finding z when x is equal to 21. Okay, first, translate the variation statement into an equation. You'll have z is equal to k over x. Substitute the first 2 values, focusing on z, which is equal to 9, and x is equal to 14 to find k. You have here 9 is equal to k over 14. Your value of k is 126. From there, write the equation of variation, that is z is equal to 126 over x. If you now have your equation of variation, proceed to the second problem, which is finding z when x is equal to 21. You're now going to use this value of x to solve for z using the equation of variation. Let's continue. We have substitute x, which is equal to 21, to z equals 126 over x to solve for z. That is 126 divided by 21, it's 6. Therefore, the value of z when x is equal to 21 is 6. That is the complete solution for this problem. Focus first on the 2 given, z equals 9, x equals 14. Then after you have the equation of variation, proceed to the second problem, which is finding z when x is equal to 21. Next example. Find the variation constant and the equation of variation when d varies inversely as j and d is equal to 12 when j is 48. Then find d when j is equal to 10. The same process with the previous example. Write your equation, which is d is equal to k over j. Substitute 12 and 48 to d and j respectively. 12 times 48 is 576. That is now your variation constant. Right now, your equation of variation, substituting the value of k, which is 576, to the original equation, we have d is equal to 576 over j. Second problem, find d when j is equal to 10. Substitute 10 to the equation of variation, that is 576 divided by 10. The final answer is 57.6. That's it for this example. Last example. Boyle's law states that under constant temperature, the volume of gas varies inversely at its pressure. If a gas has a volume of 106 cubic inches when the pressure is 14.7 pounds per square inch, find the volume when the pressure is 15.3. We have our equation, which is equal to V is equal to K over P, because the volume varies inversely as its pressure. To solve for K, substitute 14.7 to P and 106 to V in the equation. So we have 106 is equal to K over 14.7. Multiply 106 and 14.7. You will have 1558.2 as the value of K. From there, the same process, you are going to write the equation. We have V is equal to 1558.2 over P, and then go to the second problem, which is finding the volume when the pressure is 15.3. That is 1558.2 divided by 15.3. The answer is 101.84 cubic inches. This is now the final answer. Okay, now the process is the same. Now for your individual practice, you're going to solve this problem In a construction site, 36 workers can finish a task in 4 days. If foreman decided to add 12 more workers, how long will they finish the same task? For your answers, please use the comment section. And that ends our session for today. Thank you, Quipper, for the slides used in this presentation. Once again, thank you and happy learning. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button to receive updates. This is Sir RP.